Welcome back. It's your favorite therapist, host, author, Billy Gilliam. And I always make a joke about how I'm your favorite. And I'm just kidding about all those things. I'm not everybody's favorite. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And I'm okay with that. But I really am your favorite, right? No. So no, let me say something. First of all, it's really starting to storm here, right? And I think rain is such a sexy thing. I love storms. Even though they make me jump because I'm really easily startled, I love them. So thank you for joining me with the part 3 of being a coach and not a dictator, having tea with me and sitting with me in this incredible storm that we're now having in Cleveland, Ohio. So part 3 of being a coach, not a dictator, and addressing like workplace issues. Before we talked about character of the leader, right? The first one we talked about kind of more like the team. And so now we're going to talk about very specific things that people should do when they're being a leader, right? And we're not just talking about, I'm not even going to focus on your actual job, right? Because you should just be good at whatever the product that you are giving or serving, right? So that's independent of me. But there are certain characteristics, I don't care what you do, that you should have as a leader. One, you should have the capacity to actively listen. You need to be able to listen. When you walk into your employees and you have an agenda and you have no intentions on actually listening to them and really understanding, what I mean by active listening, I mean by understanding the underlying issue that they are presenting, because many times people do not address their issues directly. They speak around it. And because you're the leader, friends, you have to sometimes draw that from people. So that means you have to really listen and say, this is kind of what I'm hearing. Is that accurate? Are you really speaking to this? What is the underbelly of this issue, right? You want to make sure you take ownership, because guess what? You make mistakes. We all do. And I actually have told my team, like when I have made an error, like that's my error. I did that. This is why I was doing that. Here's what you do when you admit vulnerability, when you would make mistakes. You give people permission to do it themselves. See, if you seek to hide your errors and hide your mistakes, which you're going to do because you're a human being, you don't teach people that mistakes are things that happen and that we are all in this together. You also say that mistakes say something about you as a person, and it becomes a very shame-based thing. Take ownership, because it's respected when you do. And here's the thing, I much prefer to tell you what I did than let you tell me what I did. I'd rather come to you. The other thing is, be the model you expect to see. If you're asking people to be a certain way, you too should be a certain way. And when you find that you're not that way, if you're not professional, but you're asking your employees to be professional, you're not following through, but you're asking your employees to follow through, be the model you expect to see. And there are times that when I'm demonstrating behavior, like in my mind, sometimes, I want to react a different way, but that's not the behavior I should be demonstrating. And to be honest with you, I shouldn't even want to behave a different way if my character is being developed. And I'm still in that process of consistently developing. So in my mind, a second reaction isn't showing up for me because I'm a completely changed person. I hope that makes some sense. Be consistent. Of course, there are going to be times that things are not going to go as planned, but at the root, at the base, people should be able to expect who you are. They should be able to stand firm in who you are. See, that's the idea of honor over loyalty, because if you're an honorable person, the byproduct of honor is loyalty. I've had people tell me that they require honor. No, not honor. They require loyalty. I was shocked by that, to be honest with you. I actually don't require loyalty. I require you to be an honorable person. And by happenstance, you're already going to be loyal. See, when you're honorable, you're loyal to the right things and the right people. There are several people who are loyal to the wrong people, right? So, thanks for joining in this last quick little tidbit on being a coach and not a dictator. We covered 3 types of ideas. We covered the idea of who you are as a person in terms of your character. We talked about your team overall, right? And now we talked about very specific things with very specific interventions, actively listening, making sure you understand either the message that's being said and, more importantly, the message that's not being said. Look for the underlying issue that needs to be addressed, that needs to be solved. Help draw that from a person. Support your team in that manner. Advocate where you can and explain to them when things don't work out so well on what you were able to do and what you're not able to do. But you will still support them through that process even when it's unpleasant. Take ownership. Make sure you know your mistakes and make sure you speak about them when you need to. Thanks for having tea with me, joining me in this incredible storm that I'm having. I don't know if you're even awake to join me in that. And I will see you next time. And we're going to be talking about something different next time. So, leadership series is over. I appreciate you joining me, and see you next time.